I say hello. Just checking to see if my mic is working, because I just tried to send a text to let everyone know what I was going to be speaking about tonight, and for some reason it won't send. So I'll have to explain as we go along. Let's have a little look if I can send it now. Nope, it's not going to send me. So can everyone... Right, I'm not sure what's going on here. Right, okay. Can't send. Always a problem in life, isn't there, when you want things to go right? Maybe that's what we should be talking about tonight. So hi to everyone. We've got Rider322. Hi there again. Kim. Hello, Kim. Rider Experimental Elemental, that is kind of working with me because she's the moderator of everything. She just makes sure everything's cool and dandy, just lets me know if anything's going wrong. So everyone can, yes, hi Trevor, can see and hear you. Well, tonight I wanted to do a little bit of, right, I won't start yet, we'll just let everyone come in. See how many people was here from last night. I thought last night was brilliant. I thought it went really well. I did something that I hadn't done for such a long time, and I thought to myself, I think I'll bring it into action and let people know what it is and the way that I use a gift. There's a healing gift, there's an energy gift, but truly it's about understanding the soul. That's what I really love. And working with people's souls is a completely different bag, because what I realised, how important the soul is. Now, we've got a lot of people out there that they talk about the soul, and it's become a bit of a mainstream word, isn't it? Is the soul real? Does it exist? Are we on a soul's journey? And I've got to say, 100%. Absolutely 100%. It is astounding to discover your soul, and that's the true self of who you are. It's your soul, and you can get to it more so once the human being program disappears, because that's what happened to me. That disappeared, fell into mental craziness, and then spoke to my soul, and then my soul came out, totally different being, totally different person, with totally different gifts. Phenomenal. I believe everyone can do that if we just get out of the trap of a human being. Tonight I wanted to touch on relationships and the importance of relationships, because I think relationship is an incredible word, and I think it's the basis of all spirituality. I think it's understanding our relationship to others and then to ourselves with others. And it's very important. So we're going to touch on that a little bit more, because what I discovered with relationships, it's not what I thought. So I'm going to share that with you. Okay, we've got some lovely people coming in tonight, so bear with me not looking at the camera. Do it big. Hello Trevor, thank you for sharing. Oh, do it big, is that, well, do it big, is that your name? Do it big, I like that. Do it big. Dawn Green, hi. Florentine, yes, you was on. Hi Trevor, so grateful for your time and teachings. Sorry for the light going in and out there, I just caught it. All cool and dandy. JPH, hi JPH. Florentine, indeed the readings were amazing, by the way. Thank you again. Thank you always. And articulate the world. Hello, be well. Articulate the world. That's a cool title. I really love that. So, be me. Beeism. I looked upon it as a spirituality. I looked upon it as the soul's journey. I looked upon it as being the soul's religion, because it came from the soul. So for me, it became my religion. And religion is spelled R-E-A-L, religion, which I thought was pretty cool, really. But it's a faith and a belief in oneself, rather than having faith and belief in something else or someone else. Beeism is all about bringing it into you. It's bringing back your faith. It's bringing back your soulful self. It's bringing back a level of consciousness that gets you to understand who you are. And I think it like this. It's difficult to understand being a human being because of chapters, scenarios, situations, age. You know, the different ages, the time we've left school and the time we get into life and we start learning about life, and we never sort of really grasp it. We never really learn about life. It's just something that happens. Well, I thought it was just something that happened. I thought I was making all the right choices and I thought the choices were mine. But something different came from it. And by the way, I will be drinking a lot tonight. My throat is very dry. Been working on a wooden wand today, which I've just finished, and did a lot of sanding. Didn't wear a mask, so forgive me if I start drying up there a little bit. So I'm going to try and talk for the next 90 minutes or so, or maybe an hour. Loretta, Neen, hi Trevor, hi. Do it big, thank you so much. Well, welcome everybody, because you know, you're meant to be here and I'm meant to be speaking to you. And I say it to the people that do come through to me and we have a reading, that I'm meant to meet them. And I look at that as being part of the soul's journey, that they are meant to meet me and I'm meant to meet them, because if I wasn't, that connection wouldn't have happened in the first place. So that's how we start to appreciate the reasons why people are in your life. So everyone is special. Everyone that is listening to me on this channel, you are meant to listen, because there's something in it for you, and there must be some form of a stirring within your soul that says, I need to listen to Trevor. Oh, I called myself Trevor, not Trev. Okay, everyone's in, I reckon. So let's just have a drink here. Oh, lovely and cold. Right, let's begin. Let me just talk a little bit about the relationship of beeism, because that's exactly what it is. I came away from all the titles. I came away from being a psychic. I came away from being a medium. I love being a healer. I think that's what the world needs at this moment, is healers. And I do believe this in everyone. We are naturally gifted, born healers. But the world doesn't want you to know that, all right? And I think for women, you are definitely natural born healers. All the way. That is the core of who you are. Men are also, but it will take a long time for man to understand that. Whereas for women, you naturally do it. It's naturally there for you. And so therefore, when we take that healing ability and we try to understand the human story, that's how we do the healing. Because there's nothing better than getting back to your divine femininity. And any spiritual person, including myself, spiritual, any beamy being, you have to have the balance. You know, I have to know my masculine side and I have to know my feminine side. And so therefore, I think you can take that right back to ancient Egyptians, when the initiation was for the male to understand the divine feminine, and the divine feminine would understand the male's energy, and then the two combine and become the one. And I think that's what it means when the two become the one. Male and female energies becoming the one. And that is what represented Beamy and Beamyism. But Beamyism became a relationship. And that's what I love, because if you look at that word relationship, what's your take on it? What do you think a relationship is all about? What does a relationship mean to you? And so we seem to gear ourselves up that if we find the right relationship and we love them, then that's what we call a good relationship. But if you look at it on another way, in that relationship, then it goes wrong, can you still look at that as being something important? And of course, in the early days, no. They created a disaster. They created your pain, or you created theirs. You know, let's all put our hands up of how we've treated people so unconsciously, because we just see it as two people having a relationship and you just meet for a little while. But if you truly knew the real meaning behind relationships, it's so spiritual, it's unbelievable, because it's something that you get to know and learn about yourself. But if I look at the word relationship, you're having a relationship with your body, you're having a relationship with your mind, you're having a relationship with your emotions, your energy, and your experience. See, there's the be me. But if you take it on the human level, what you're doing is that you're having a relationship with so many people. It's all over the place. Your relationship to your own body, mind, and energy is not working as one unit. Beamism, for me, was getting my body, my mind, and my energy working together as one. And once I understood that energy, the relationship became very important. So me became the relationship. And then you have to ask this: is it a good relationship? Is it a bad relationship? Is it a conflicting relationship? Is it a depressive relationship? So many titles, so many different relationships. And so therefore, we take relationship and we love the good bits, we love the great relationships, we love love. But then, on the other side of that coin, you've got the ones that you think didn't work out. But what I realized is that they're both working out perfectly. And so therefore, one teaches you about darkness and one teaches you about love. So there's the scale of how we gauge what is a loving relationship and what is an unloving relationship. And so therefore, when you are in a loving relationship, don't it feel great? Eh? It's the best medicine in the world, isn't it? The planet looks great, doesn't it? It's beautiful. The sunsets, the moon, everything smells better. You see a lot of beauty. But then, when the relationship is no good, then Earth is dark. There's no beauty. There's no love. There's no life. Nothing's happening. And so therefore, is there a moment when we can understand that if we gauge our lives upon what was good and what was bad, I say it like this: the time I end up in the spirit world, I would be looking at it and thinking, well, I think 75% of it seemed bad, and I might be pushing that a little bit. And so I would look at it and say, well, maybe only 25% of it was what I would call absolutely fantastically brilliant, and a feeling of being in love. So beamism become that search, and I ask this very important question. When you're in love, your energy is there. When you're not in love, where's your energy? It's down there. So how comes we're two different people? I'm great when I'm there. Terrible when I'm here. Absolute nightmare. Things all go wrong. Nothing works. Everything breaks down. Your mind doesn't like you. So we all aim for this. We all want to be there. That's a relationship. Here is also a relationship. But one of the most beautiful things that I discovered, that I believe that all souls have come here to understand, and it's only one relationship. And that relationship is the relationship to living here in the first place. And we don't represent that. So because I knew I was going from here to here, my love and my energy was being determined by who was in my journey that was giving me a good time or a bad time. And I thought somewhere along the line, this is wrong. And so therefore, I decided, which one do I want to be? Do I want to be there or do I want to be there? But the interesting thing is, it's all about energy. And the best thing to fall in love with as a relationship is life. As you've heard me say on many YouTubes, a blade of grass. Everything, isn't it beautiful? You're here just for a holiday, holy day. You're walking on sacred land, for God's sake. And so therefore, beeism became this unbelievable awareness to what's in front of us, but you don't see it because we're so emotionally messed up, or we're in conflict, or we're in struggle mode. So I'm hoping with this, when I found the difference in understanding beeism, there was this high point and this low point. Now, what people make the mistake is this. When you're down here, you want to go back up there. But one of the things in beeism is you find the balance, which means you find the middle way, which means, so if you're here on the bottom, all you've got to do is find the balance. But if you're trying to go right back up to that energy, you will be very disappointed. And then when you're up in that energy, it's great. Bring yourself down into the balance, because sometimes when things are great, there has to be an opposite, and sometimes we can crash. I found the balance, and in that balance, it was just being, beingness, beeism. That's the middle balance. So I know the difference between working with energy, but the greatest relationship on this planet, and it really truly is Be Me. That is the most important relationship on the planet, because you're having a relationship with every organ in your body, and that relationship is working without you even knowing. So when you get in connection with intelligence, you're connecting to the relationship that keeps everything inside of you functioning. But when we're dysfunctional, which to me was the human, which meant body, mind and emotions all over the place, the body does not know how to sustain itself because it's getting mixed signals. Bear with me. Because the body is getting mixed signals. Because your mind is the computer, isn't it? It sends the words, it sends a vibration, it sends a feeling into the heart, into everything, into every cell in your body. So it works like this. Could it be, because I now know through understanding depression, which is a relationship, by the way, that the more I was telling myself I was depressed, the more my body just responded with it, and it became even more depressed. Now, there is a way of looking at that. You can't turn around and say to yourself, well, I'm not depressed and so therefore I'm going to be happy. This is not what that's about. You've got to learn to stop saying I'm depressed. It's as simple as that. And here's another thing. If you want to find out how to love oneself, you've got to stop saying that you hate yourself or you don't like yourself. And it's as simple as that. Now, that took me 20 years of healing to try and understand that a simple answer like that is, if I stop disliking myself, love naturally comes through. Because for me, it's not love. It's about naturalness. Love has still got a human condition connected to it. And so therefore we expect love, or we've understood what love is. But if you go with naturalness, it's so beautiful, because out of everything on this planet, what I've decided is the most unnaturalist thing on the planet is the human being, because everything that is on this planet is naturally being. And so therefore, that's why I associate everything as a be me. This is the be me kingdom. It's about being you. It's about being me. But it's our perception of how we look at ourselves and how we look at life. And be me and beamism, my soul, taught me to understand it in a completely different way. And that is what I teach. Oh, that was a mouthful, wasn't it? Hopefully. That was kind of almost channeling in a way, because I'm trying to sum it up. I want to give you, but what was the benefit? What was the ultimate? What did you kind of get from it? What was the journey about? Was it worth it? And it's all worth it once you go through whatever it is that you're going through. But as I said, every condition, every thought, every emotion, every drama has got a title to it called human being. But when the human being disappears and dies, right, because that's what it's going to do. That's why a lot of people will feel like they want to take their lives, just like I did. It's not that. It's the old self is dying and you're trying to cling on to it. And I wish somebody had told me to sort of, you know what, it's a process you're going through, and they explained to me what I was going through. I think I would have got through it a lot quicker and a lot easier than I did. So hopefully I take a lot of the pain and the struggle of understanding the transformation, and it is absolute transformation. You will go from this to this. It will be from black to white. It's that big. Beamism doesn't do little change. It does big change. It does full transformation. Everything changes, and therefore you then begin your life in a completely different way. So in my journey, I'm about 26 years old, and that means that in my awakening of becoming conscious, that's taken me 26 years. But in some funny respect, I feel like 26. I don't feel like a person from the human side of it all that's got 64 years of weight, heaviness, carrying a rucksack of emotions and problems and hates and desires and all of these things. The Beamy doesn't see it that. The Beamy sees a story, and it's a fantastic story, and you're all having one right now. Oh dear, right, that was a big mouthful there. Ellie Wynn, welcome. Hypnicity, okay, Yusuf, hi Yusuf, you helped me a lot, Trev, thank you. Yes, I'm hoping to help a lot of people. Can't wait to fully understand, break on through to the other side. Okay, let's have a little chat about that. To the other side, let me just think about that for the moment, of what does that mean to break through to the other side. You have to find out what is your biggest complaint. So let's say you drive yourself crazy, you're a worrier, right? And being a warrior, I nearly said warrior then, might be a warrior, but being a warrior, that brings a certain emotional content within you. So therefore, worrying about things stirs up the emotions, and the two start communicating. And so therefore, that's a feeling and an energy that's working against you. So your achievement, if it was that, I mean, I'm just surmising anything here, but if it was that, and then you found a way to not be like that, because you have to ask yourself, well, do you like being a warrior? Do you like being filled with emotions that gives you a funny belly, that can make you sick, can make you ill, can make you, feel depressed? If you like that, then stay with that. But a lot of people don't like that. So when it says to get through onto the other side, it's your personal challenge to get through something that you don't like, to understanding why you do that, and then stopping it. That is like an enlightenment, because that's what you call working on yourself. Let's put it in another way. You could have no confidence, and that's a big one. A lot of people feel that they don't have confidence, whatever that means. And it means that everyone is looking at somebody else as having full-blown confidence. But in my teachings, in my understanding of how many people I've spoken to and read for, that is not the case. They are acting confidence. You've only got to look at a lot of the actors. You know, they play the parts really well because it gives them something that's different from themselves. So it's false. So that means they're liars. That's what a good actor is. They are a brilliant liar. And so therefore, look at your transformation. So for me, the dark night of the soul, that was the big one, because I never, ever expected me to fall into depression. Me, Trev? No, it was never going to happen. So what's the transformation of that? Well, of course, I don't want to be depressed. I want to get out of depression. So on my soul's journey, that was putting me into depression. And I realized the soul has said to me, I've had enough of this human life. I'm fed up with keep going round in circles. I'm fed up with doing the same thing and getting the same results. And I'm just going to stop it there. And that's what it meant for me. I just felt like my soul just slumped and said, I'm not going any further until we clear this stuff up. And that became the process. So the goal of it was, I just wanted to get out of depression, for God's sake. That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to feel like I used to feel. And so therefore, what we do, and what I believe therapists do, is they try to take you back to what you used to be. Because that's what we say. I just want to be how I used to be. But that doesn't work. Because I'll tell you for why. Even if you got back to being who you used to be, that will last for a little while. Because if you went back to what you used to be, I guarantee you, you'll be walking back towards depression and you'll fall back into it, because we've not understood the true power and the gift behind depression. And so therefore, you can look at depression, and of course it's an illness. Well, if you tell somebody that, oh no, you've got an illness, and let me put it in perspective. I spoke to a young girl, this was a couple of years ago, and she was 16, and her and her mum came to me to have a reading, and I picked up straight away that she was totally depressed, and she didn't know who she was. She'd lost her identity, but it was shocking to hear what the doctors had told her. And basically, the doctor had told her that she'd probably be like this forever. And I was just, wow, that is something you do not want to hear. And so therefore, I spent a good couple of hours with her, re-educating her and about what depression meant and why you was going through this and how you can look at it in a completely different way. And that's all people need to know. They need to understand the mechanics of why are they depressed? How can they get out of depression? How can they understand it? Is there a reason? Why is my life like this? And so, therefore, I found through going through depression, it became my greatest teacher, because I'm a guy that speaks about experience. I'm not somebody that's read a book. I said that last night, I know. But through my experiences of being a human being, I thought to myself that there's got to be a different way of understanding this. This can't be it. This can't be it for me. And when you're in depression, that's what you believe. You're going to be like that forever. And a lot of people can be like that forever. But I looked at depression as an experience. And the reason why I looked upon it as an experience is because I'd never experienced it before. But if I looked upon it as being a full-blown mental illness, that there's no rhyme or reason behind it, then that's no good for me. You know, that's rubbish. Is that it? Is this where the buck stops? I'm happy and now I'm not, and I'm going to live like this for the rest of my life. And so therefore, that is where beeism got developed, and the beeism and the soul became an awakening. So depression is a major turning point in the human being's life, and we're being told it's an illness and you've got to take this sort of medication and all that. Now, I'm not saying nothing about this being medical. I'm just talking my story, my personal story. You can take whatever route that you like, but I'm not here as a medical or to tell anyone what to do or how to do it. But I'm saying what I did, and it bloody worked. So therefore, for me, depression become an incredible journey of understanding that is the beginning of your soul's journey, because the programming is ending. That's what it means. Right, how do you know when your Saturn return is? Got me on that one, because I don't do the astrology at all with that. So you'd have to ask somebody else about that, because I understand planets in a way that they affect me at certain times. Now, I didn't understand that at that particular time, but I've got a very good friend of mine, and she is an amazing astrologer. She knows all about everything, how everything works. But when I go back into my early life, and I was looking at the patterns, because that's what you do in transformation. You're looking for patterns. And again, if you can find the patterns of your life and change that pattern, again, that's transformation. And so therefore, I was noticing at certain points in a month that I was getting very angry, or I would lose throw a job because of my anger, because I was a very angry person. And I busted up with girlfriends or friends. I was uncontrollable at a certain time at the month, and I didn't realise it at the time. But over a period, as I was awakening, I was becoming more in tune with myself, I thought there's got to be a reason behind it. Anyway, it's the moon. And I realised that every time I was getting headaches, I was finding that I'd be driving and I'd say to myself, oh, where do I live? What turning do I take? And I would find myself feeling completely lost, brain fog. And it took me some time speaking to the friend of mine, and she was telling me about the energy of the moon and how it changes our energy. And I never realised how important that it was. And when I looked back at all of my relationships and jobs, I thought, oh my God, I did everything on the full moon. And then after the 2 or 3 days after the full moon, that's when you start running back to the relationships, going, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I didn't know what was happening. Yeah, I was angry and all of these things. And now, when there's a full moon or a no moon or certain planets coming in, the more you grow away from your human conditioning, you do become more sensitive to the universal language. Because when I said to you earlier on about the naturalness, that's the universal language. That's what everything on this planet works with. And we've lost touch with that. We're not in tune with that. So if you go back to the ancient Egypt, you would go back to anything that was ancient, they would definitely have been in tune with the heavens than we are today. We haven't got time for it. But in this awakening, the global awakening, people are now starting to understand it a little bit more. Because, as I said, the more you awaken, the more you become in oneness with all that is. And so therefore, you can just feel it. So now, if my energy starts to change and I say to myself, oh, I've got the ump, I look outside and I think, full moon, here we go. So on a full moon, I don't go anywhere, I don't say anything, and I don't put myself down, because I know that's what the full moon could actually do to me, because it's drawing my energy, it's draining my energy. So now I go out into the garden and I just sit with it, and I just look at it and think how beautiful it is. And I've realised that if you can feel the energy of the moon, for me, because it's the closest, and if I look upon it as being creative, that creativity or discovering an answer to a question takes me through to the next month, and it truly does work, and it's brilliant. It's getting in tune. That's the universal language, or you could call it the universal law. That's what I believe is the naturalness, because everyone throws a flippy on a full moon, whether they know it or they don't. So important, but I can't answer that one on the Saturn. Right, my Saturn is in next year, according to numerology, meaning completion. Okay. Completion, great word. I love the word completion. Completing what? That's the question, isn't it? There's many completions. It's emotional, it's feelings, it's thoughts, it's words, it's many things that we want to put an end to. Because in the Be Me philosophy, there's a beginning, there's a middle, and there's an end. And there's an end, there's a middle, there's a beginning, there's a middle, there's an end, there's a middle, there's a beginning, there's a middle, there's an end. That's life, see? And once we understand there is a completion there, and you have to really trust the story that in every beginning, middle, there is an end. But in every ending, there is a beginning. So if I looked at depression as being the ending, I found the beginning, and that was Be Me. So there's always the three. Okay, I got this one, Trev. Okay, so someone's going to answer that for you. So that's brilliant. So well done. Experimental, elemental, brilliant. She teaches me everything I need to know about energies. And if I'm going through something, I'm feeling a certain thing that I can't explain with beamism, that's the first person I'll call, and she say, yeah, we've got a major lineup of planets, or we've got amazing solar flares, because lots of solar flares at the moment are affecting us. Right, let's go back up. Hi everybody anyway. Hi Norma Armstrong. Oh wow. Oh God. Oh, okay everyone. Thank you very much. Sorry, I've ignored you because I feel tonight I'm channeling a lot more. And I'm explaining a lot more. Oh my God, love you. Love you back. Ellie Wynn, hello Trevor, hi all. God, this could be... Do you know what? I'm going to say something really important that's just come back. Let me just remember it for the moment. When I was awakening, and I was finding myself... I found myself in the Kabbalah, for God's sake, you know. I found myself in Christian churches. I found myself in all these different places. Reiki, Buddhism, temples and all of that. And spiritualism. And do you know what I was looking for? I was looking for a place of where I fitted in. And I thought, my God, I can't find a place where I'm fitting in that's making sense, you know, to my journey. Am I a spiritualist? Am I a Buddhist? Am I a Christian? God, I don't know who I am, what I am. What faith do I belong to? And I remember going back to my studio, and I sort of said it out loud a little bit, and sort of said to myself, God, do you know what? All I want to do is find a family. I think I had this feeling of like, I wanted to find a family I could connect with. And I just went, where am I going to find this family? And a voice, literally, a voice said, then you need to create one. And I thought, how on earth am I going to do that? That's not going to happen. But do you know what? Just looking at this moment, this could be the Be Me family. This could be the family that I've been trying to connect in with. So hello, Be Me family. This could be the beginning, couldn't it? Never thought of that until tonight. JPH, thank you. Ellie Wynn, Be Me. 100%. Can't wait to fully understand Breakthrough. That's where I was. Norma Armstrong, Divine Zion. Hi everyone. Great name, Divine Zion. So happy to finally catch you live. Yeah, I decided to do it an hour later, and I will be doing even later. Victor, hi Trevor, can you do a reading on me? Victor is my name, 29 years. When will this dark night of the soul end? Right, so let's do that for Victor. So let's just do a little reading. Let me give you an overhead camera, Victor. Hopefully this is going to work, people. Voila, there we go. Now, yesterday I was teaching people readings, and what we've got there, Victor, hopefully you're still on and you're seeing it. There's the colours. So what I would like to do is just ask you to choose 2 colours. So let's take it from there. So if you respond with 2 colours, and I'm going to use my Beamy Divination cards. No, not divination cards. They're just called Beamy cards. That's good enough. And let me see what we can come up with, because this is about Dark Night of the Soul. So let's see where this goes. So I'm going to get into some readings here. So let's go back a little bit now. Victor. Right, okay, bear with me a second. I was a homeless drug addict. Right, ethnicity. Thank you for sharing that. I was a homeless drug addict, not going back there. That's an experience. That's a great experience, isn't it? That your soul put you through that. You know, I was homeless really in a way where I didn't have no home for like 12 years. And I spoke to a lot of homeless people on my travels. And I met this guy, this homeless guy, and he had a cup, and sparing any change and that. And at that particular time, I really couldn't, because I was broke, I was destitute, I was in the darkness of my transformation. And I said to him, I'm sorry, I can't, I'm in a really bad position myself. So I ended up speaking to him for about an hour. And at the end of the conversation, this guy turned around and he said to me, do you know what? He said, if you had $1 million to give me, he said, I wouldn't have taken it. He said, for you speaking to me as a human being and listen to my story, he went, that's priceless. He went, to me, that's gold. He said, because you took the time to understand and listen to my story rather than everyone judging me of why I'm on the bloody streets. That's the truth of it. And you know what? To go from there to being on there to getting onto the street, do you know what? I found out that's a bloody fine line, a real fine line. So please, never look at the homeless as however you're looking at them. Change that completely. Peace and blessings. Right, okay. Let's get some colours going on there. So you've got 2 colours to choose. Ellie, thanks Trevor for talking about what you did during the end of the programme, depression. Yeah, there's a lot of things. It's all about, that's what I talk about. And I've got so much more. There's so much more you've not seen on YouTube, but I'm hoping the lives will draw it out of me. White and blue. Okay, hypnicity. Right, so we got, that's the first one. Victor. Right, I'm going to do Victor first. Much appreciated. Trevor, purple and blue, please. Right, okay. Now, Victor, these cards are 26 positive 26 positive words and 26 negative words. The colour cards represent the chakras or energy or blockages of where you are on your journey. So I'm going to pull out 2 cards and we're going to put that on the purple and the blue. So here we go. I'm just going to pull out. Let's switch that camera over for you. Right, here we go. Purple first. Right. We have becoming. And the blue. Oh, look at that. Wow. Just look at that. What have we been speaking about tonight? Well, hopefully you've been listening, because look at how that reading is come into play. Here in the blue, that is all about self-expression. That is your throat chakra. That's the voice of truth sitting there, because, you know, for me, beeism became the voice of my truth. And look at this in your sixth chakra, your third eye. It's about becoming. That is absolutely fantastic. And I'll tell you for why. Now, I know you're going through the dark night of the soul, but them two words, that's why they're in this divination set that I created with spirit. Look at that. In the dark night of the soul, I've already spoken about it. A lot of information has been geared towards you tonight, because life is about a relationship. The dark night of the soul is a relationship. And what that dark night of the soul is getting you to understand is how dark your relationship is within yourself. Is that what it means? The way that you think about yourself, the energy that you're feeling, it's very dark. So that is a relationship, but it's teaching you something. Hopefully you'll get to see a lot more of my videos, because this is only short reading. So have a look at the word relationship. Understand that the dark night of the soul is a relationship. And if it's truly the real meaning behind the dark night of the soul, look upon it as an initiation. Not an illness, not a problem. But when you're in that dark night of the soul, what happens is that you try to fight it. And so therefore, the relationship that you're having is a battle. So you're fighting your mind against your emotions against your journey is affecting your body, and therefore you lose all of your energy. So your body, your mind and your energy is all over the place. Your emotions are way back in the past, your mind is all over the place, and your feelings, there's no word for it. That's the thing. Your feelings, you can't seem to put a word on that feeling. What I'd learned was to be able to sit with it. Again, I wish somebody told me this. It would have saved 20 years. Sit with it. Don't identify with it. And if you do find yourself in a dark place, if you do meditation, don't run away from that. Because what you'll find is this, is I thought it was a scary place. But in actual fact, it was black and it was dark because there's nothing in it. And that was the truth of it. And so therefore, I started to learn to sit in that dark place with nothing in it whatsoever. But believe you me, I spent years running away from it. The truth of the story is this. You're carrying fears, and all fear wants is to be loved. Again, 20 years that took me to understand that my fear turned around and said to me, all I want to be is loved. And then as soon as I loved the fear, that's the human self of you, as soon as I loved the fear, fear just disappeared and I became one with it. And so therefore, going through the dark night of the soul, you have to understand the darkness of everything and everyone, because to me the human life is really quite dark. And then understanding that darkness neutralizes. It just neutralizes. And then you've got on your third eye, becoming. You're becoming a beamy. So hopefully learn a lot from this beamy, because it's about changing your identity from here to here. Because if it's all just human, there's no jump. There's no place to say to yourself, okay, well, I'm in my beamy moment and I'm in my human moment. I'm in my beamy moment. I'm in my human moment. So there must be moments when you feel okay about yourself, and then there is moments when you don't get it. And there's moments when you get it, and then you don't get it. You know, people call that bipolar. You're not. You're transitioning. That's human into the beamy. So great journey. So hopefully your relationship to who you are, your body, mind and energy, and you are becoming a beamy, becoming a new you. That's the identity of beamy. Brilliant. thought that was brilliant. Hopefully you do. I know what I said is to be true for me. Victor, oh yeah, the fight in my emotions, got to learn to be. See, there it is. Simple. And that is learn to be still. Right, ironic. Now I work with homeless youths. There you go. See, listen, I say it like this. If you're a drug addict and you get off of the drugs, that makes you an incredible bloody teacher, right? Because if I was heavily on drugs, then I don't want to see some swatty little kid that's read a bloody book, that's been to university to learn this stuff that they have no bloody idea about. The person I want to see is the person that's experienced it and found a way through it and understand it, and that person shares that. That's a great teacher. That's the book that you write. Anyone that's had a transformation, whether it's from alcohol to not being an alcoholic, that's a book, because there's a lot of people out there that would love to read that book. Your journey is so special if you transform. The biggest one for me was going from human to be me. That just summed the whole bloody lot up. You know, if you look at the problems, I had to get to the point and say to myself, well, what really is the problem? And my soul just answered and went, human. Human is your problem. The soul is the solution. S-O-U-L-U-T-I-O-N. Solution. The soul has your solution. Your human story doesn't. So brilliant. Okay. I love the word becoming. Yes. Becoming is a great word, because we never stop learning, and it's always about becoming. In the journey for me, it was, oh, when will I become? But then I realised that as you awaken from sleep, you don't stop evolving. You really don't. And that's why for me, beeism, it just kept growing, it kept growing, it kept growing. And I just got to this point where I was waiting for it to stop so that I could begin. But in the processes of growing, you know, beeism meant something here 5-10 years ago. Then it meant something here 5 years ago. And then it meant something here 3 months ago. So everything changes. So don't give yourself an outcome on anything that you perceive that you're supposed to be. Because in the awakening, well, you're wondering what you're going to be. I was wondering what am I going to be. But the surprise was, I didn't know I was going to be me. That's a cliche, isn't it? I didn't know I was going to be this. And the soul just takes you on this journey. And once you kind of surrender to things, the soul kicks in and takes over. And it starts to communicate in ways that are absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. We should be teaching this to children. I should be a school teacher. Right, okay. Any readings up here? There was some before. Let me just go back. Oh, sorry, guys. Hi, Roger. Do it big, right? I said hello. Daniel Hits, thank you, Trevor, so much. Right, just before I did Victor's, I had someone else that wanted a reading. Hypnicity, I think you came in one. Hi, Daniel X. No, but I will Google it. Whatever that means. It stays with us. The feral never leaves you. You become wild out there, and it will always remain a part of you. Let me tell you something. Let me take a drink. When you were awakening, I thought, for me, I was going to be all dressed in white, on the beach, doing meditations, teaching beeism and, you know, all of this, little chimey bells and meditation music and all of these things. I really thought that's what awakening was all about. And so therefore, you know, sometimes you can think awakening is about, you know, loving everything, loving all, doing all this, being nice and all of these things. But one of the things that I realised what awakening can mean, and especially for me being a messenger of beeism can cut both ways, right? It can give you this nice message, or it can give this message that is really hard hitting, but you really need to know it. And I had an experience with a friend of mine. I've known him for like 35 years. He was, you know, my best mate. And he asked me once, he said, oh, Trev, it's amazing we've been friends for so long. I said, yeah, you know why? Because the energy has never changed. But then one day, that energy changed and I felt his energy attack me. So rather than saying anything nice to him, my messenger level kicked in and hit him so hard with the truth that he couldn't get out of bed for a week. He rang me up a week later to apologise and say to me, Trevor, that was the best thing you could have ever done for me, because it made me realise and analyse myself of what I've been doing to people along the journey. He went, I can't thank you enough. And I said, look, listen, thank you for listening. So it can go two ways on how we deliver messages. And that's why I say, even in the bad bits of our story, they're very much about healing. So there's a thank you very much there. So if somebody stabbed me in the back, I got to the point where I went, thank you very much for that. That's another trick in my healer's toolbox. You know, that's something I need to heal. So the more as you grow as a healer, it seems like the more you want to get wounded somewhere along the line. And then I realised that there was a reward in that, because I realised that they was giving me something really important, and it gave me something else to look at, gave me something to understand, and gave me something to heal, and it's fantastic. Right, okay. Experiment, right, hypnicity, purple and yellow. Okay, brilliant. Did we not do a reading for you yesterday at all? Because let's hope, you know, we sort of work this out, because if so, there's other readings I can do. Purple and yellow. So purple first. We've got the word hard that's come up on that, on the purple. And then we go into the yellow, was that? Well, my mind is all over the place tonight, as you know. Right, let's have a look at this. Right, okay. Well, let's hope this is right, and let's see how this gets interpreted and what's come up. Because on the yellow, we've got awkwardly, awkward being me. And then on the purple, we've got it's hard being me, or to be me. So let's go there, shall we? Let's have a look at this and try and get some sort of explanation of it. Of course, it's very difficult for me to explain it fully to you, because there's not a lot of interaction here that was going on. So sometimes I might explain this from my point of view, so that you get to understand it from sort of my level, and hopefully it works for you. Awkwardly is the negative word for awakening. So therefore, in the alphabet, A for awakening, A for awkwardness. Because even in that energy of understanding, being awkward, feeling awkward, you know, we can make people feel awkward. A lot of people do it. So I feel a lot of people are awkward. They're hard work. And there we've got it coming up on the sixth chakra there. So maybe I could look at this and say, well, this is either something about yourself, or you could be turning around and saying, do you know what? It's hard work explaining to people about spirituality. It feels awkward. And so therefore, I'm picking it up on the yellow energy, which means that's in the solar plexus, and that is a bit of stagnant energy where you're trying to find the truth of something, and you know there's an energy there, but you're looking for an awareness to understand that feeling. Now sometimes, if I've got this right, or I've got you right, it's very difficult speaking spirituality. It's very difficult speaking transformation. And it was really difficult speaking about beeism. And it actually made people feel very awkward. And so therefore, when they felt awkward, it could send an energy into their solar plexus. And then what would happen is you would get a look from them that looked at you as if to say, piss off. Technically, sorry for the language, but I never quite understood what was kind of going on. So something in your mind's eye you're finding a little bit hard to understand, so that's being hard, be me. And then there's something in your solar plexus that feels a little bit awkward. So somewhere along the line, understanding the two words to try and find out how that energy is affecting you. So ask yourself, what is awkward? Is it you that's awkward? Is it people that are awkward? Do you find people hard to get on with? Do you find people are not understanding what spirituality is all about? Are you finding it difficult in the way that they speak within their minds? So again, just work out them two words. They're the two words that have come up. Brilliant. Hopefully there's something there. But all words are really, you know, listen, looking at the word hard, life is hard. I think there's been many points in life. Being a kid is hard. Growing up is hard. Having a relationship can be hard. Working a job can be hard. Awakening can be hard. It's a word that we use. If we try to learn something, then it's hard. Now, I do this. When there's something I need to learn, whether it's these videos, this camera, these lighting, this microphone, this whole thing, when I first look at it, I think, God, this is hard. And I stop. I go, listen, it looks hard, but as soon as you get to know how to work it, hard becomes easy. Hard means there's something that you don't understand, but once you start to understand it, it becomes simple. Driving a car, don't you remember? When you very first took lessons, you went, this is hard. I'm never going to get the gist of this. This is really hard. But now look at you. You just drive the car. You're not even thinking about driving the car. So hard can become simple. Transformation can be hard. Anything that you find is hard, try not to say that it's hard and just say to yourself, do you know what? I'll get it. I'll work with this. I haven't got it at the moment, but I fully trust myself that I will. And that's how I do anything. Even when I create wands, you know, when I started carving faces in wands, I was like, wow, where on earth is this coming from? Because again, you can have hidden gifts. I never knew that that was in there. And when I looked at it and I thought, God, this is hard. But then I just persevered with it. And I thought, oh, okay, this is getting easier. So always look at it, there's an equal and there's an opposite. There's a hard way, there's an easier way. For me, beeism became the easier way. Butterfly is, I'm just catching, right, where are we? White and blue, experimental, white and blue, purple and yellow we just did, just arriving, thank you. Yesterday's colour reading. Hi there, Denise. I'm all over the place here. Hypnicity, you're an energy healer. Right, brilliant. Okay, so you're doing the energy healing, right? And that, you know, that takes a long time for people to understand what on earth you're doing, because it's understanding the power and the gift of energy. Because on what level are you healing? You know, because we can look at it spiritually, we can look at it soulfully, we can look at it mentally, we can look at it emotionally, and we can look at it physically. But beeism on healing, I tell you, the healings that I've done, and not on an energy level, but on a real physical level, like magic, things happen. Whereas working on the other aspect of it, because I was a Reiki master, then I became a Seiken master, and I took all of that information, but there was still something missing for me in that information. And so therefore, when Beamy started to develop and become, that became the Embiki healing, right? So if you look at the word heal, H-E-A-L, it's healing emotions, awakens love. And that's the truth of it. And it's being able to understand that's what beemism is all about. It's about healing emotions, and it awakens love. And that's the truth. Because to me, what is love? Well, everyone's got their interpretation of love, but I give you mine in a beaming. It means living one vibrational energy. Love. That for me summed it up, because I always need to sum things up. Right, it is about the butterfly. Yes, it is about the transformation of the butterfly. I'm uncomfortable because it's new territory for me. This is fitting for me at this time. Yes, healing. Wow. God, beeism, member key, icy beam with these readings. It's all about healing. If I go back in my journey, you know, I remember one of my friends turning around and saying to me, he said, Trev, you know, if I hear one more spiritual word, one more talk about healing, I swear you're connecting with this, you know, and because it made people feel uncomfortable. And you worry a lot when it comes down to healing. Will it work? Can I do it? Is it going to happen? Will there be something that makes a difference? I don't know what. And I know all of that. It's the same with mediumship. Will somebody come through? Will this happen? Will that happen? Like psychic as well, it's the same thing. Will I get it right? Will I do this right? And all these things. I got to such a place that, you know what, I take anything on. If it's there in front of me, I say, I can heal that. That's what I say. I can heal that. What have you got to lose? But I bet I can heal that. And I look upon it as a fun. I look upon it as humour, because people's faces are like, yeah, right, yeah, go on, yeah, whatever, you know. And but I love it once you get into the naturalness of it, because you're giving of yourself. That's good enough. You're giving your energy. But what you've got to be careful of is replenishing your energy, because people will take your energy. So you've got to have a plenty supply. Now, here's the thing about love and about energy. You know that saying, the more you give, the more you receive? People got that wrong, because people believe this. If I give love and I give love and I give love, they'll give it back to me. Will they? How many of you gave love and gave love and gave love and gave love, but what did you get back? They just treated you horrible. I used to look at that and think, I don't get it. Sod this give love stuff, this ain't bleeding working, because I'm getting attacked. And then what happens is with love is that you shut it off. You shut that love off, and that takes you straight into your inner world. You shut off your own healing light. You shut down your soul. And so what I realized it meant was this: the more I give, the more I receive. The more I receive. So the more I give, the more it comes in this way. I don't expect anything coming back from that way. I did, but then I gave up with that, and I thought, well, what's going wrong here? But the more I was given, the more came in. It's the same as saying, the more I reduced the human being, the more the higher self came in, because it had room to fit in. See what I'm saying? Empty your room of boxes and you can throw more boxes in. But this time, totally different boxes. Out one, coming in. So never shut off your own light. You're doing what you're doing because that's the way that you're doing it. Practice it, hone with it, believe in it. It works, it's natural, it's beautiful, it's what's needed. Oh my God, I'd speak all night long on that. Right, okay. Right, I'm sorry, I'm an energy healer, brilliant. I watched all your videos and helped me with depression and suicidal thoughts tendency. Yeah, that's getting rid of the old programming, because you've realised that you're treating yourself with no respect. Ellie, win, had to restart. Hypnicity, I don't know. Right, okay, I'm trying not to. Hypnicity. All right, articulate the world. White and green. Okay, we've got about 25 minutes. Sorry, I'm really talking a lot tonight because I feel that I need to get this stuff out. As I said, the more I get out, the more comes in, and the more I will do. So right, now I've lost myself again. Right, articulate the world. White and green. White comes in first. Oh wow, that's interesting. They're all interesting. I always say that. White and green. Okay, let's have a look at that. The words that have come up are question on the green and universal on the white. Now, how would I read that? Hold up, let's go back to the top there, sorry. How would that work for me, and how would that work for you? Question everything. Everyone's got questions. This is what this is all about. Beamism came from questions. Questions about love, most importantly. Questions about healing, most importantly. But you've picked I've picked the universal card, but I picked it for you. And that's come up in the white, because to me, the white is the universal language. So you've got something there, hopefully, that you could be connecting, or your soul's journey is saying, connecting to the universal language. Now, isn't that funny? Because earlier on, we was talking about universal language. So again, I've been a little bit ahead of myself, because I spoke about relationships on the other story, and now I was talking about the language of the universe. You get in tune with that. The more you come away from that human programming, your soul becomes heightened by the whole thing. And so therefore, the universal language is something that we start connecting in with. We start working with it and understanding it. Now, a lot of people, they talk about this manifesting, manifesting, use the universe to manifest. And they say, oh, you can manifest being rich, and you can manifest this house, and you can manifest this car, and you can go from broke to $1 million and all of that stuff. Not if it's not in your soul, you're definitely not. It may have happened for them, but you'll find out that really in their story they're quite business minded, and they achieved it and they sell it that you can do it too. But I don't think that's the case. The most important thing you want to manifest is 1, how to heal oneself, 2, how to know thyself, 3, how to understand your emotions, and 4, how to become the greatest relationship on the planet. That's what you want to manifest. You want to manifest your own meaning, your own purpose, your own intelligence, your own consciousness, your own authenticness, your authenticity. That's the be me. Manifest that. Do you know what? Because within your body, that's what you could be questioning. What does it mean to be universal? Well, universal be me for me now, really. If I take everyone's identity away, then they are a be me, so it is universal. And so therefore, when we look at the word universe, what does universe mean? It means one single verse. So one verse, that we are all one. Now, I never quite understood that, but of course we all come from the same source. That's the energy that's working within us. So it's connecting in with that, questioning that. You can speak to that through the heart. That becomes the artist's way. So the artist means, let me get this right, healing emotions, awakens relationship, trust in soul transformation. That means artist. Now, that came for me on the 4th chakra point, and that was so difficult to get to, because understanding the 3rd, which was really hard, because that's where the source of all pain is going to get you, in the 3rd. But when I understood the 3rd, the 4th kicked in and it became the artist. So I am a be me artist healer. In my fashion days I was an artist, but now it's HEARTIST, heartist. And if you split the word again, it says art first. And that's how you get to speak with the heart. And let me tell you, bear with me. It was very difficult for me to be able to speak from the heart. Hopefully that answers some of you, a little bit of something that went on there. Right, okay. Light Club, thanks again. Experimental, sorry, I'm just seeing. Right, ethnicity, my sister and brother think I'm nuts. You're on the journey then. Do you know, I love it when people say I'm nuts. I say thank you very much. Do you know what? When I went on this journey, I thought it was nuts. Depression is nuts. I was nuts. I was funny nuts, People used to call me funny nuts. But, I was nutty. I was like Peter Pan, so I was always nutty. And so therefore, when I started to get into my stuff, people really thought I'd lost the plot and that I was really mad and I was mental and I'd gone nuts. And I said to him, I thought to myself, oh, I really am growing. And so therefore, when I go back to the people that I grew up with, I represent myself from how I could still be to where I am now. And then when I look back at it now as a human life, that's nuts. It truly is nuts. Anyone that's doing that, it's nuts. You will see it in that way, I'm afraid. And I'm not putting anyone down, but that's what happened. My human life I thought was great in a sense. I loved it. But now when I look at it, I think, oh my God, what a waste of life. That's nuts. It's insane. Right. Daniel Hitch, you're right. Starting over is hard, literally hard. Maybe it's accepting that. It is very hard, but beamism can help you with that. Beam is the way forward. Daniel Hitch, right. Ethnicity. They tried to label me as bipolar and liked when I was on antidepressants. I'm almost 4 years free of pharmaceutical. That's healing. Right? Yes, that's what they'll name it as, is bipolar, because they have to name it something. I mean, when I was younger, I never heard of bloody bipolar. I have no idea what that means. Bipolar, what is that? But when I was going through the journey, as I said, I was stepping from one world into another. Human, be me, human, spirit. It was like, my God, what world am I in? Is it me? Is it this? Is that the truth? Is it illusion? Is it, what do I believe in? God, bloody bipolar, definitely. It's a switch of two things. That's bipolar. You know, you could say the moon's got bipolar. 1 minute it's up, 1 minute it's down. The sun's got bipolar. 1 minute it's up, 1 minute it's down. Everything's got bipolar, really. Oh, right, red and yellow for do it big. Right, red and yellow. Right, for do it big. Red and yellow. Bear with me, I've gone all... Oh my God, that's funny. That shouldn't be in there. Oh, let me show you this, because a card is slipped in and it shouldn't be there. But it's got to be there because it's there for you. So let's show you what's happened on this, because you've got love on the red and you've got healing on the yellow. But let me show you what's different. That should just be kicking in a minute. You might see it up on your screen. I don't know if you see it as quick as I see it, because there seems to be some form of a delay, and it's still got a delay there. But anyway, has it come up yet? There it goes. It's switched onto my other iPad. There's a big delay here. Love and healing. Do you know what? There's no greater words. You've got red here. That is the base of everything. This is your first chakra point, right? I could look at that and say, do you know what? In the beginning of the programming, when you're in that womb of life, you're coming from a place of love. Then we step onto the planet. So I don't know if this is about you sort of learning about love, or this is taking you back into your family roots that says, I didn't come from love, but I've started to understand what love is. So there that is in that first chakra point. So if you've ever been infected or affected by love, you will feel it right in that first chakra point, a discomfort, right? So let's switch that back over. And then you've got healing that's coming up on your story. So I can only give it to you on what's kind of here, but healing and love, my God, it's got to be the ultimate, isn't it, to understand anything. So you're going from first chakra to the third chakra. So hopefully you're becoming a healer here somewhere, because this is something that you've definitely got to trust. And if your soul is pushing you that way towards healing, I mean, let's face it, you're on this channel. So if that's pushing you towards healing, I could also say the one thing that you really do need to heal is trust on your love levels. Where does your trust work with love? And do you trust love? So look at that and see if that's right. And if you looked upon it as saying, does my be me healing need loving? So that's the be me is turning around and saying that we need loving. We need to understand ourselves. So it's all about love and healing. Oh, the great word. I don't know how that got in there, because that card should be in that pack. So you're going to be the only one that got that tonight. Okay, let's go on, please. Right, my voice is going. Lynette Stone, hi. Daniel Exum, considered trying ayahuasca now that I'm out of the depths and just feel stuck. Is this silly with the right intentions? I can't comment on that because I wouldn't do it and I haven't done it, but people find it to be absolutely amazing. Listen, all the ancients was on plant hallucinogenics. But then, you know what? When you get into the soul's journey, it does become a little bit like that, hallucinogenic. And the reason being is because the human story disappears and then you think you're tripping out. So it does become like that. Someone's recommended ayahuasca, so there you go. Listen, God created it. There's medicine in all plants. That's why the witch got burnt. Right, Stone, hello, articulate, I believe in one for all and all for one. Divine Zion, white and blue. Right, so this is for Divine Zion. Right, white and blue. First one comes out is white. Second one that's going to come out and here is the blue. It's switched it over. You've got insecure on the blue. And you've got kindness that's coming out here. So there's almost like a massive, you know, I could almost sort of say that's the bipolar sitting right there, isn't it? There's, in your personal expression of yourself, you could be feeling insecure. There's a part of you that's in your energy that has a certain amount of kindness, but you're feeling insecure about something. You're feeling insecure maybe of where this journey is leading you. But let me say something about that word insecure, because it is something I think is fantastic. So let's go back to the front of the camera. Insecure is coming up in be my expression, becoming my expression. Expression is all about the truth of who we are. If I didn't express beamism, it would kill me technically. It would be a waste of my life. So I'm expressing myself, but again, I went through a lot of insecurities of knowing how to express myself. But let's have a look at that word again. Insecure. Let's split that word, shall we? In, secure. In, cure. In, seek, cure. Inside is the cure. The cure is in, insecure. But where does that work? For anyone that's listening, insecure is something that you're saying to yourself that's making you feel insecure about something. Now, it's a part of the getting in connection with your teacher, your intuition. It's letting you know that there's something you're insecure about. But for me, do you know what that means? It means seek the cure. In. So people say insecurity. That to me says in, secure. Seek insecurity. Insecurity, in. Secure. Insecure. Are you getting that? In, cure. So beamism becoming the cure. So insecurity, if there's any form of insecurity, then that's your transformation. That's what you're needing to understand. You've got kindness there. So looking at them two, I would say there's a bipolar thing going on between feeling insecure and kindness, which is coming up on the 7th. So you may have this energy that's bouncing backwards and forwards. But insecure, seek the cure, and only you can secure. Because if you go insecure, that's you're making yourself insecure. But if you split the word in, secure. My inner world is secure. sounded quite good to me. But that's how I got it. That's how I went through it. That was how it was given to me. You know, because I went through a lot of insecurities. Unbelievable. My insecurity was absolutely crazy. Right, okay, ethnicity, love that. The cure is within the insecure. Yeah. Trev didn't make that up. That's all come from the soul. You're seeking the cure. It's like the artist, you know, healing emotions, awakens relationship, trust in soul transformation. I earned that title, trademark. But Chloe, sorry I misspelled your name, whoever that is. Hi Chloe. Yes, ground through the roots. I see red as grounding. Yes, red can be very grounding. It can be very passionate. It can be very loyal. It can be very family orientated as well. Hi Jay. Hi. I think I've seen your name before, haven't we, Jay? Or have I spoke to you before? Light Club, my life has totally fallen apart. There is literally nothing else to hold on to anymore. Yeah, that's what happens. Everything fell apart, and including my mind, which meant I didn't even know how to cut hair anymore, and that for me was never going to happen. I couldn't believe that everything could fall apart like that, and it really did seem like Monday I was all right, Tuesday what on earth's gone on? It really was something like that. And I lost everything. I lost my home, I lost my friends, I lost my mind, I lost my sanity, I lost my skills, I lost my career, I lost the shop, I lost the studio, or the list bloody goes on of what I lost. And I remember shouting out to the universe, call it God, call it whoever you're shouting at, because we do a lot of that, don't we? Shouting at the ceiling. And I did a lot of that, and I said, you've left me with nothing. And I heard a voice come back and say, are you sure about that? That was strange in itself, but it's kind of like an intuitive thought that comes in. Yep, you've left me with nothing. But are you really sure about that? Yeah, I've got nothing. What have I got? Nothing. Everything I've worked for, nothing. Gone. Everything. No money, no career, no future, no me, no mind, no hairdressing, nothing. No relationship, nothing. Do you know that took me 2 years to realise that message that said, are you sure about that? Yeah, I'm bloody sure about that. But what was left? Anyone know the answer? What was the most important thing that was left when everything is taken away? Anyone got that answer? Be me. The most important thing left was be me, because the very thing that you're saying that you've got nothing left is all material. Everything of that is material. When you go into the dark night of the soul, that, like for me, it's like even that lot went. The mind went, the human programming went, the skills went, my humour went, my personality went. Everything just disappeared. The lights were on, but nobody was in. It was as simple as that. But yes, no, it's not all gone. Your false impression of yourself is gone. The things that you were clinging to has gone. But the truth of it is, it's you and your soul that is left, and your body and your mind and your experiences is left. It's you that's there to understand on a soul level. The most important thing that's left is you. The most important thing. Right, hopefully that answers that. Kim, can I have an orange and purple? Then let's go with an orange and purple. Right, funny enough, Kim, I'm going to use something different for you. I don't know why. People, it's just the way it is. My energy just changed all of a sudden because there's more to be me. Kim, can I have orange and purple? So, orange, vision, purple, trust. Does that not answer it? Does that not answer your question there straight away? vision coming up on the second chakra there. Again, it all comes from creativity. It all comes from a source of energy, and visions are very important. So I would look at this, and you've got trust that's coming up here in the third eye. So that's coming up in the mind. That's coming up in the front cortex of your brain. That's where everything can happen. You know, your visions, when you have clear visions, it's knowing how to trust that vision. And this is where it brings you back down into the relationship of self, because that's the orange that's coming up for you. Maybe you have a vision of yourself, of what you would like, or what you believe, or where you're going, or what you believe your journey is all about here. You've chosen purple, but there's something in there that can be positive for you. I could turn around and say, well, maybe you are trusting your visions. Or maybe I could say, you're not trusting your visions. But the one thing I can turn around and say is this: oh, I'm so glad I trusted my visions, no matter how crazy they were. And believe you me, they was crazy. And the strange important thing that came up, if I had a vision, say, 10 years ago, do you know, it may have taken me 10 years to actually go, oh no, I know what that vision's all about now, because we connect dots. All your visions and all your dreams are so important, because we've been taught to believe that a dream is just, oh, it's just something, oh, it's just happening, oh, you're having a nightmare. You know, we're told that as children, aren't we? But I received a lot of messages in my dreams, and I paid a lot of attention to them. They can bring a lot of fear in your dreams as well. So if you're ever being chased, or opening doors and finding yourself in different rooms and thinking, how on earth did I get here? And then you try to go back through that door and you've come out and you're somewhere else, and now you're feeling lost and confused. So it's all about, I would keep this short and sweet, it's about trusting your visions. So I did a different reading there for you, because these are also part of the Be Me relationship and the Be Me understanding. And these were like the stronger chapters in life. Okay, right, I'm going to start to end this very soon. I get that a lot. Oh my God, love you. Is that your handle? Is that your name? Oh my God, I love you. That's great. Denise and pleased, right, thank you, Divine Zion. I'm loving getting to know what you're all about, Trevor. What you do is so cool. Been following you for a few years, but I've really connected more with you since you started these lives. Yeah, because it's live. Other than that, I'm just talking to a brick wall with a camera in front of it. Quite honestly, I found that really quite boring. I love communicating. I was a hairdresser for 30 odd years, you know, so what's that all about? It's communication. But in the dark night of the story, you get put on the lonely step. And I lost all forms of communication with the outside world. And no matter where I changed the country to go and get back connected with people, I still found myself disconnected from people. And I thought, this don't add up. I love being with people. I love talking to people. I love expressing with people. I love people. Why am I not allowed to be around people? What is going on? And my God, it went on for, it's 10 years. It went on for me trying to get back connecting with people, and I couldn't. And do you know why? Because my soul hadn't been finished with me. The message hadn't been completed. And that's why I couldn't connect with people. That's why I'm doing it now. Right, okay guys, this is where you create your authentic self. Be Me is, think about it. What are you creating? What are you growing into? Don't look at doings. It's not about what you're going to be doing in the future. It's about what are you being. So if you can imagine yourself, let me just give you a goal. If at the moment you feel lost and confused or upset and depressed, imagine yourself in the future as growing into a person that's not that. Simple as that. It's about being. So what you're doing, let's bring it down again, and bring it down. So how you feel right now, would you like to feel the opposite? Well, that's your future self. That's all you need to understand. I don't like feeling like this, so what do I need to do? I need to feel like this. So why am I feeling like this? Well, I need to understand why I feel like this. Once you get to understand why you're feeling like that, you've already, that to me is your future. Because you have to start from somewhere. Because if I didn't start from somewhere, I wouldn't be doing this. I'd still be back there being that person that I was, thinking that my life was over. So I was seeking for somebody to help me that had my answers. But little did I know that in the seeking, I became the man that had some answers. Does that make sense? So whoever you're seeking for, that's you that you're searching for. And so they say search the light, don't they? Or seek spirituality. No, it's not about seeking spirituality. It's seeking self amongst the human programming. You're seeking self. Ask self. Inner self. True journey in. Be me. That's another part of the story that I've not yet spoke about at all. I have so much because you never stop. So this is nice because if this becomes a family, then of course you're starting to understand who is Trev. You know, I won't give you all of it, but I'll give you a good part of it. Kim, thank you. I've done tarot readings, but I'm a healer and working with colours and auras, that's my passion. That's why I pulled out that the other set of cards that was designed to be in there. So yes, healer, great word. I never used to be able to say that word. I was like, you know, what are you doing at the moment? Nothing, just nothing. Trevor, how was Destiny TV? Was I on Destiny TV? Did I do Destiny TV? You got me thinking now. Nothing new under the sun. You're never alone. Nothing new under the sun. Insecure. I love this so much, Divination. Thank you. Yes, this is amazing. Daniel Wicks, I've lost everything. Blah, blah, blah. I haven't had a professional haircut since 2020. Okay. Right. Probably nor have I, really, be honest with you. That's why I wear hats all the time. Can't be bothered doing the hair anymore. So you remain with the most two powerful and amazing things that matter most. Yes. Right, okay, we're ending this soon. Chloe, I haven't cut my hair in 12 years. All right, we're talking about hairdressing now, and maybe I should start up again. Like Club, this is all so familiar, like I'm listening to the inner self. Yes, you are listening to the inner self. Inner self. But the human being doesn't know how to communicate with the inner self. These readings originally is I see Be Me, which is intelligent communication, body, mind, energy. I haven't introduced the I see bit yet. I've left that bit out. This is just Be Me. There's so much more. Right, okay. Ryder, thank you so much for this evening. It was thought-provoking. I may do more tomorrow. I see how this throat is going to see. But if the sign comes up, we can keep going. Thanks to everyone for the dialogue today. I love learning from everyone. Ellie Win. Everyone's a win-win. Ellie Win. So let's have a look at that. Sorry if I didn't get and do a little mini reading. Of course, these readings, I don't disclose too much about anything, about making you feel uncomfortable about anything. The message that comes through is being able to change the perception of who you are. And once you adapt to I'm a Be Me being, your perception of who you are and life changes because you've got a new identity that is true. Whereas the human identity is false. And so therefore, when I say you step out from being a human, you come away from them false ideologies of what you're told on how to be as a human being. We break them rules, and once we break them rules, that's when you become your true self. That's when you free yourself from the enslavement and the entrapment of what it means to be a human being. And that is the true meaning behind awakening. It's freeing yourself. So be me ultimately is freedom. It's freedom from who you used to be, because that was so painful. Right, everybody, stay tuned, and we'll do some more. This is the best way I can do it. Sorry about the quality, but it's all I've got. I trust myself has been my mantra. Yes, believe my energy, believe my experience, believe me, bless me every day. Be me. I'm putting together actually healing, the artist healing, with all the chakras. So I've done all the chakras. I call it the Be Me Ladder of Truth, and I've done all the positions, the hand positions. I've done quite a lot on explaining my own healing module. So I'm working on that at this moment and putting that together. So that may be coming up in the future. Thank you all for being here. Thank you. No worries. It was fab. I'm glad you thought so. Listen to the things I speak, because you're listening to a guy that didn't speak like this. I never spoke like this. I never spoke in the way that I spoke. I just spoke as a human being, man, that had a very difficult, hard life. And I come from the east end of London, so it's very hard hitting. It's we're not very educated in that sense. And you know, I come from a place called Dagenham, and they actually call that Narm. So that gives you an idea of the area that I grew up in. And for me to be able to speak from the heart and to speak about, touch on bases of God and spirit and healing and love and all of these things is kind of unheard of from where I've come from. So, oh my God, love you. Oh no, I keep saying that. Oh my God, I love you. That's great, that is. Oh my God, I love you. I think that should be everyone's mantra. Oh my God, I love you. And when you do awaken, you do kind of love everyone, but not in the way in the human love. You love everyone because you understand they're on a soul's journey. And once you understand they're on a soul's journey, you can see what they're going through on that level, and you can understand them, which means you will love them more because you're not judging them. I trust myself has been my mantra. Thank you all for being here. No worries, it was 5. Trevor, what astrology sign are you? I'm going to say all of them. my sign is Taurus, but I will still look at it and say I'm probably all of them, because I think we're kind of all of them at certain times in the month. So, Trevor, what astrology? Oh, I'm a Taurian. At Light Club, I know Dagenham well. Well then, maybe you know my lot there then, because that's where I grew up, and you know what Dagenham's like. Ellie Wynn, Altar Experimental. Guys, this position here, it's not a praying. This for me was when the human side of me and my beamy side became one. And that for me is bless me every day. That's blessing me. That's connecting into my own divinity, to work out and understand that my teacher is an excellent mind of teaching me things I never knew. And that's when the universal energy will put things into your mind. And so therefore, that's why beamism kept growing, because at the moments and times when I thought it was finished, in would come something else to go, no way, I didn't see that. Oh, wow, that's incredible. I thought this was done. See, again, the more you empty, the more you can be filled. Thanks to everyone for being in here. Listen, I may be doing this tomorrow, so stay tuned. I'll see how it all goes. But other than that, I wish you well in your Be Me journey. I'll either see you here very soon. If not, as you've always heard me say, I'll see you on the other side. So I'm saying to you, take care. Most importantly, love oneself. And if you're driving yourself crazy when you go to sleep, just say to yourself, become mindfully empty. Become mindfully empty. Become mindfully